Hi, Refinery family. Welcome to another episode of Refinery Story Series. My name is Abisola Gumbao. And today I have with me my lovely
Adetola.
Aditola is here. She's going to be sharing with us a refinery story. So let's get right into it.
Um, Hi, family. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate it. Well, my refinery story. I'll just start from when I decided to take the journey serious, because I know from small I've always had that hint that I'm not supposed to be living the life of normal, regular life, but I didn't have that should I say guidance, or that mentorship, or to take me along the Christian path properly, even though I was brought up in a Christian home. So I know right from small, when it comes to friends, I always get instructions from pastors that I shouldn't make friends, I shouldn't try and make friends, because they didn't tell me the reason in particular, but I shouldn't just make friends. I should be aware of friends and all of that. But I didn't really understand in depth. But I knew growing up, I've always had challenges when it comes to friends, because I pour out a lot. I pour out all a lot of love towards people around me that I care about. So to them, they take it they take it another way. And I know from small, I know growing up, I have friends planning things against me. They come together, they put me in a situation that I can't get myself out of. And then I'm like, what did I actually do to deserve this kind of this kind of situation?
Can you share one of the situation
Uh
with us?
okay, I have
Several.
several. So I'll start from when I was really small, because that one I know I was clueless. I was still a child, so I won't really understand. Okay, this is how the journey of my life is going to be. So I remember when I was small, that was in primary school. I There were two guys in the school bus. So one kept a paper in my bag. So I wasn't even aware. So when I got home, my mom saw the paper. So it was the guy professor. I said, saying he likes me, telling me he likes me and all of that. But me, I wasn't aware of the whole situation. So when my mom got to school to talk about it, they now put the whole blame on me, that I was the one that kept the paper in my bag. I was the one that put it. I'm aware of it, all those kind of things. And I'm I was so clueless. And the principal beats me to the point that I started questioning myself. Did I actually do it, or just so that one too happened. That was in primary school, and then in secondary school it also happened, but this time around, because we're adults, right? So it happened with there was this best friend. I used to call her my best friend then. So apparently, she liked the guy that said he likes me.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So we were talking, but at some point, I was talking to the guy also, getting to know him. I was in secondary school, so I told myself I'm not going to do anything so at that point,
Anything relationship.
yeah, I didn't want to go into a relationship at that point, because I think I was still SS1, or yeah, SS1. So I said I don't want to go into a relationship. But the girl, on the other hand, she was ready for anything. She was ready for whatever to give to the guy. But me, I just said you guys can work things together and just leave
Let you
me
be.
out. I don't have a problem. Because me personally, I don't get too attached to humans. Maybe because of how I was growing up, seeing friends betraying me. So I still get hurt, even if I distance myself, but I won't get too
The
attached.
impact will not
Yeah.
be that much.
So I just let it go like that. And unknowingly for me, I didn't know they were planning things. It was so funny. They were planning things against me. And the guy suddenly started messaging me. I'm like, can you stop? Like, you have this person you're talking to.
So now
Like,
they begin
they started dating.
oh, okay.
So they started
That's
dating. So we're already in SS2 now. And I was like, you guys are together. Like, just let it go. Like, no relationship can come out of this. After that, the girl now came to the hostel with other group of girls. They circled me and they were shouting and yelling and saying different things that I wanted to collect the guy from her. It was really, really embarrassing because I was lost. No, and even some of the other girls that were part, we were friends. We were talking, we were laughing. So seeing them actually in that situation, but like I said, I didn't really understand the depth of those situations, like those friends and all of that. Like, but growing up, like as I was growing, I started like understanding little by little that because like I pour out so much love, like it does not mean it's meant for this certain type of people or surroundings. So I didn't understand that at that time. So growing up, I let it go. I forgave them because I don't like having drama over guys and all of that. So I just forgave them. Growing up, that's
so
just
you were still friends with them after all they've done?
I won't say I was friends with them, but I was cool. Like we're talking, like hi, like how are you doing? Like we're talking, but like in my heart, I knew like this friendship was done. So that was how like I ended the friendship. Like I didn't want like because if you could come up with this kind of situation, what will happen in another setting? So I just let it go. But like coming to Canada, because normally I didn't want to come abroad, but I had a dream that I was abroad. That was 3 years ago. I didn't even tell anybody because I didn't even want to, like, not 3 years ago from now. I mean, like, before I came. I didn't want to tell anybody because I didn't want to come, like, abroad or anything. But growing up again, like, when I was in university in Nigeria, that was when, like, I had a dream that I was going to come abroad, but I didn't want to tell anybody because I was happy with my friends, doing whatever, living life. Like, I wasn't even thinking about tomorrow.
You're
Like,
just carelessly
I
living,
was just carelessly
but
living my life.
your parents gave you Christ.
Yes, my mom never like, cause I for my mom I she knew, I feel like she already knew my purpose. She knew like the type of child I am, but she didn't want to do it in a way that it would chase me away. I don't know, you understand what I'm saying? Like it would chase me away, or I'll do it wrongly, or I'll tell the wrong people things that I am, because I can be that type of person sometimes. Like I can just tell you like
Who you are,
this, yeah.
what is said of you,
Yeah.
and all of that. So she did
So
like Mary did.
yeah,
She
so she
kept the
just
things to
kept it,
herself.
but she kept on praying. Like every single time, like I'm always in situations. My mom has already like she has already called me to advise me, like, don't do this, don't do that. But
You always
I
do the
won't
opposite,
I
or the
don't.
exact thing that they warn you against.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So my mom called me and she was saying like, oh, like there's something I'm going to do. I should be careful and all of that. And I told her like, oh, there's nothing I'm doing. Like, there's nothing like that can put me in any situation right now. But unknowing for me, even though like I didn't do it at that time, but it already happened before she called
God,
me. But when she called me, I already stopped. I already stopped this. But the thing is, I didn't, even though I stopped, I didn't remove myself out of the situation with the friends that she was warning me about. So I that night I slept because it was hostel. So I slept in my bed, in my room with my roommate. And then my roommate, she was she was drinking and smoking and all of that. And I think I'll just call them patrons or yeah,
the hostel
the
coordinators.
hostel coordinators. Yeah, so they came in out of it has never happened before. This has never happened before. I don't know who told them what or whatever, but I know it has never happened before. They came in, they opened the door was left open. And one thing about me, I always keep my door locked like every single time, even if people are doing anything or they're not doing anything, just because of my belongings. So the door was open and I was sleeping and it just came in. And the next thing, they saw like weed and all of that. That's how they just took us. They just took
As an
us.
accomplice.
They just took us. But the thing is, I already like I already did I already did take some before,
You slept.
but like I said, I already told my mom like, well, that, like I'm not doing anything because deep down I already planned on not even
Do it
doing
again.
such again. But that went on. They called us, they talked about it, they asked questions, but I couldn't even say like I didn't do it because it was in my room. But even so, just because I'm type of friend, like okay, both of us we got caught, let's try and bring ourselves out. So not one-sided. I'll say my own story. So I tried to like say the story in a way that
It's
both
both
of
of you.
yes, but I don't know, and I don't want to assume that my friend said the story that
Was
excluded her. So
oh.
I don't want to assume, but I never spoke about it. But yeah, so they ended up not expelling, suspending us. And at that point, my mom just said, okay, you know what, travel. But me, I've already seen it that I was supposed to be abroad, but I didn't just tell anybody. So my mom was like, okay, you know what, just travel and all of that. Everybody in my family, they were all worried. If she travels, won't she not continue this stuff? If she travels, won't she not do this? They're really worried. But me, I was like, anything people want from me, I'm not really bothered. As long as there's money in my account. That was what's
You were worried.
that was my own at that time. I was not really bothered, honestly. But I mean, I was sad that I got suspended, but any decision, because at that point I already like hurt my parents. So like there was not much for me to say
So you,
anyways.
you thought that anything they say, you deserve it.
Yes, basically, it's like that's the least safe. So that was what. So even my mom saying I should travel, I was even surprised. Like I thought my punishment would be like worse than that, but like my mom too. Like she also knows her ground with Christ. So I feel like a part of her knew what she was doing. So yes, I came to Canada. Everything was going fine in Canada. I was still like doing like the same things that I was doing, like going out and all of that, like drinking, but like not like I always try to make sure like I still know what I'm doing, but like I was still doing those same things. Like even though like I was still going to church, sometimes like anytime I go to church, like I always make sure like I'm in departments, like always running from one end to another, always making sure I'm busy because that's the only way I feel like I can still stay connected. Like, because if you don't, I feel like if you don't have something you're doing and you're trying to know God, it's going to be a little bit hard because if you don't have, like, if you're not working in church or if you don't have people you're communicating with. So I try to, like, put myself in that setting in order to remove myself from
What you were
for
doing
what I
that's
was
not
doing.
pleasing.
Yes. But fortunately for me, the church I went, they I spoke to the pastor, but he didn't really understand where I was coming from. And it's okay. Not all pastors like will understand or have that knowledge to like help like young ladies or young youths. So at that time, I was like, okay, it's okay. I'll just continue like going to church because that's how I was raised. Like you go to church, you pray, like that's the only like God is the only person that can help you in any
So you
situation.
wanted out from what you were doing
Yes.
and you seek help, but you didn't get the help you
I
wanted.
no, I didn't get the help. So I still saw myself repeating the same things. Well, I say I'll just call it patterns, the same patterns, like back and back, like with friends, with relationships, like every single time. Like I see myself repeating the same thing. So I'll just fast forward. So to when like I had to leave the church because I tried explaining
Struggles.
my struggles. And at the end of the day, the situation that happened in the church was preached about on the altar. And I felt disrespected because I came to you, I confided in you, I tried explaining like what is happening, like how I'm hurting. And it's different if you're using the preaching to like advise other people, but it's sounding more like an attack, that kind of thing. Like, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to leave the church. And that's how I left the church. And I didn't go to church for 3 years
Three
because
years.
of that. I didn't go to church. I didn't listen to any program. I didn't do anything because, and the devil is tricky. Like, any little thing, the devil can use that as an advantage. So, but me, I didn't
You
think
didn't know
about
what,
it. I didn't
you
even
didn't
know.
recognize
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
I didn't understand it at that point. But I know, like, my mom was always telling me to go to church. She was always praying. She was always begging me to go to church. I would tell her, Mommy, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. I'm going to work. That kind, just an excuse. But I would say last year, even with like the friends I had and everything, last year January, February, I just sat down. I don't even know how my mind. That's why when I talk to people, I just always say honestly, like it was just God that found me because I don't even think I found Him. Like it was the one that called me, not me like going to it because I don't even know how my mind just wandered around and I just said, wait, oh, what have I been doing with my life for the past 3 years? Like there's nothing to show off apart from going out, apart from going to work 24 hours and coming back home, sleeping, eating, doing the same thing over and over. There is not like any improvements or any changes, the same routine, the same patterns, and I was comfortable and I'm like, no, like that does not like make any sense. Like I'm not living a good life. But before that, before last year, like that I decided the journey, before last year, I already told myself like all these outings, like all this drinking, all this smoking kind of stuff, like it's going to come to an end. So I already stopped even before like
You came to yourself to
yes.
return to God.
So I already stopped. And when I even told my mom about it and everything, my mom was so happy. My mom was like, what's going on? Like she was so surprised. Even when I told her, like, mommy's like, I want to start going back to church and all of that. She she said, like, oh, she was going to go and give testimony. Yeah, and I understand her because right from when I was small, I always follow her to vigils, to mountains. Like I was that child that I'm always with my mom in church. So I understood like when she was like in pain, like when she was hurting, but I didn't understand it in like in the spiritual way. Do you understand? So that was what it was. But I already decided to stop all what I was doing before last year, even though like last year, yes, I still went out 1 or 2 times, but I made sure like I didn't drink or I didn't like do anything, but I still did go out to like clubs and all of that because like I said, it's like step, like you can't just rush it. So and I'm somebody that I really find it hard to tell my friends no when I know it's going to hurt them. So I'm just like,
So you
okay.
prefer to hurt yourself than hurt
Then
someone else.
yeah, yes, that was just how it was for me. But last year, like I said, when my mind just wandered around, I'm like, you know what, if I say like I'm not drinking, if I say I'm not smoking or anything, okay, what else, what can I do, like what will I use my life to do, like what's my purpose, what's that's when I just started like thinking, I'm like, go back to God. Like, it's only God. Your life, if you look at it, like if you go back, like to when you were small, it has always been God. Even with the way you talk, with the way you tell people things, with the way like you accommodate people, like this is just like signs of like God in you. Like this is not just you, because not everybody that has that like features like so this is just you. This is just God in you. So I just started my journey last year going. I was doing it alone. I wasn't going to church yet. I was trying to find a church to go to. So I was just doing it alone, like reading the Bible little by little, watching like sermons. That's when I came across Apostle Selman. So I was watching his sermons little by little, like just when I see it on Instagram, but not like I would go
On YouTube to search for
to
it.
search it.
Okay.
So,
Baby steps.
yeah, so I was just seeing it like little by little. And So I just said, okay, let me just go to a church. Let me just go to a church. But before I say, let me just go to a church, there was an incident that happened with my friends that I had. So, like, even way back, I've seen like this friend talks bad about me. That's the thing about me. Even in as much as you talk bad about me, I'll still look for the good in you
To cover up
to cover up for
and
your.
say, maybe I just hurt the person. You see, you, not them.
Yes. So it's like, okay, maybe I did wrong. Maybe I didn't like give you the full love. But me, I know like my energy is draining. Everything about me is draining, but I will still do it. I will still show you that love. So I knew like this person used to talk bad about me because I had receipts. I had evidence. But I just decided to let go. Like, okay, it's okay. Maybe one time mistake and all of that. But it kept on going on, going on, going on until last year when it was too much. But that's when I realized that for it to be that much, it was God that made it that way. But at that time, I didn't know like
It was
it was
God.
God. So until somebody pointed it out to me, because it was so much that it was so heavy. Like I did not even know how to like explain how I was hurt. The only way I could express myself was to cry and shout for help to God. I just at that there was just that day I was like, God, you know what? Just do whatever you want with me. I was just crying. I said, God, have mercy. Because the pain, the hurt was so much that this kind of pain has never happened before. So that was when, and I said, okay, let me even look for church to go. So I started going to a certain church. I mean, I won't say there's anything bad about that church, but I just did not connect the way I wanted to connect because I know myself, like when it comes to spirituality, the way I connect with people or churches, like I would know if the church is for me. But I just did not connect. So I was just going like one Sunday, maybe next month, one Sunday, that type of. So
Thing.
it's not like every Sunday that I
Sunday.
was going, but I was just using like videos to like back it up and pray and all of that. Well, yeah. So along the line, as I was on my journey last year, I've never gotten into an accident before, but I knew like as I was on my journey, where things started happening, like accidents here, accidents there, different things. They were just happening. My siblings came also to Canada, and at that time, I had to put in my application for my PR because my sister advised me to do two different applications. So I did the application. Me, I was like, anytime I hear people shouting, thank God, oh, I got my PR. Sometimes I would just question myself, like, is it that hard to get PR? Like, I was not thinking in like I said, sometimes I will not even think in the spiritual aspect. I'll just be thinking with my normal like knowledge or like my own understanding.
Understanding.
So I was not even like I was like, it is well, oh, God will help everybody. That was just how I was just talking. That's how this year January came. The first application I put in got denied. I didn't shake because I'm like, I have application for extension for work permits. I have application for PR, another different pathway. So I didn't even bother. And I still have like my visitors application along also. So I didn't even bother. February came, my extension for work permits got denied. I was laughing, I was crying at the same time. People who like the people around me will understand how I was crying and how I was worried. But at the same time, I was like, this time around is only God though. Like there's nobody else. But it was just weird to me at that point in time on why was this happening when I decided to start my journey with God. Like start from the scratch. This did not happen when I did not say, God, do your will or do whatever you want. It didn't happen during those 3 years because those 3 years I did not go to church. I did not lack anything. Whatever I needed, I got. Like I did not lack anything like financially, emotional. Like I didn't lack anything. But this year, like it was just like the opposite. And I started wondering, like, say, see, because I'm starting this journey, hey, what should I do? Should I still continue or I should not continue? But obviously, I knew, like, this time around, because I was key to it, like, I keyed to it, like, is this one is God or nobody, like, God or God? Like, there's no other option. Like, this time around, I need God in my life. And then I started to come to, should I say this? Okay. I don't know. Okay, then. Okay, actually, I was invited to come to CAC. I've been invited to come to CAC for like 2 years now.
Before
From
you started.
before I started, 2 years. What's her name? Sister Juliet. Yes, Sister Juliet did not allow. She didn't allow me to hear a word. She was just like, come to CAC, come my church, come my church. I'm like, sis, and I know in my own head, CAC in Nigeria that I used to go, I will go to church 10, like let's say 10 p.m. I'm leaving 5 a.m. in the morning. So I was not about to do
That kind
like
of
that type of
spiritual
journey
journey.
right now. I wanted to start from like this crash, like take baby steps this time around. So I was like, okay. She was just inviting me. Different people actually invited me. So I'm like, okay, if 3 people are inviting me to this church, like there's definitely going to be a reason. So I think that was March that I came to CAC. As I just walked into the church in CAC, that was when I saw you preaching. You're talking about like your journey, like journeying with God, and how like it might look like nothing is working right now, but just you just have to hold on to God and all of that. We're just really talking about every single thing I was going through. And even on Tuesday programs that I try to come, like that I started coming for, I was the pastor raising prayer points and all of that for immigration and all of that. So I decided to like, okay, let me even see. Because in that March also, I think early March, my visitor visa was denied.
So all
So
3 applications that you relied on were gone.
denied. So I was not left with one. Sometimes when you have different options, you will not know how you need to hold the word of God dearly. So I was left with one option. So because I was left with one option, I knew this one is God. Like before, I was still doing it. Was work permit will still come, but this time around, I was like, this one is. I'm not even hearing anything again. This one is God. I have to like do whatever, follow instructions at this point because it can only be God. And that's when I met with Pastor. And I was just telling Pastor, like, this is what is going on in my life and everything. And Pastor just said, is that all? I said, yes. Pastor said, it is done. I said, Pastor, you don't understand. I said, you don't understand. This is what is going on. Pastor said, don't worry, it is done. I should not be afraid. I said, okay. But immediately I left his office. I just thought about it, the kind of faith Pastor had to say it is done. I didn't have that faith. So I now started.
That word kept back,
Yes.
coming back to you.
I'm
Right?
like, if Pastor, and Pastor always says, like, okay, like it was God that called him to this like journey. And anytime I pray, Pastor, I want to be using Pastor that God, is it that called the man of God to do, to do your work? And he said, you have done
done
it. So
I like that.
so I will now use his faith or my own or everybody around me. I'll just join it together because I knew like when I heard Pastor talk, I knew like I didn't have much faith in God until I heard it is done. That's when I now started keen to like the word, like Pastor always says, even when Pastor is prophesying that whoever that wants to get pregnant will get pregnant, I will change that prophecy
For
for
yourself.
myself. I'll change the words. I'll put it for myself that the immigration will bring forth to come forth, like the pregnancy to deliver. That I just used to change this. Anyhow I can change this, I'll just change this for myself. Because even Pastor has studied that if you hear a prophecy, you can turn it to yourself.
A
So
prophecy for one is for all, but then you don't
exactly.
want that, but you want something
Something else.
else.
So that's what I was just doing. So when I left his office, I didn't even make it like a major thing, like the immigration situation, a major prayer point, because Pastor has said it is
It's
done.
done.
So I really believe like it is done. Even though there's a percentage of me that I'm like, hey God, I beg you. God, please. But I don't like, okay, this one it is done. I will not talk about it, I'll not pray about it unless it is raised in a church
Church.
or I'm watching a program and the prayer point is raised. So instead, all I just do is, God, I just want to know you. I just want to know you and all of that. Even while like the immigration was going on, then after a while I received an update.
Okay.
Yes, I received an update that my background check has been updated. Like I passed my background check. So I opened it. When I opened it, I saw it. Then I logged out. Then I opened it again. Then I did not see it. I said, hey, so which kind of voila is this? Which kind of view once is this? And like immigration gave me view once. So I was just worried. I was just panicking. I had to call like the immigration people to tell them like, okay, what is going on? I saw this when I opened it, but it's not longer showing on my portal.
Pardon.
And then they told me like over there they can see it that my background check has been updated, so I should not panic. I'm like, how do you expect me not to be worried because I saw it once and I didn't see it again. And during that course, like during that situation, I was just reading the Word of God. I was just watching sermons, like listening to like advices and all of that. There was there was one Bible passage that I just saw when like it said like, will I bring to the moment of birth and not give
Bring
delivery?
forth.
And I was like, that's true. Will God say he will do this and I will not receive it? No. So, and I've never heard of that Bible passage before. Like I just saw it. And then I started keen to it. I started praying about it. And that's how along the line, even when like I'll just be saying, God, they cannot, because I didn't tell anybody. I didn't even tell my friends. I didn't tell people that I used to talk to. I didn't tell anybody of my situation because I was not working. I did not work for 10 months. So how I was feeding, it was God that was just helping me. So I didn't tell anybody for 10 months what I was going through because I didn't want them to mock me and mock God and say, it's not you that went to go and be doing church. Now you don't have this. After all your bragging about God, this is what that's ended. So I'll just be praying. And there was a time Pastor raised a prayer point that like we should pray that like will not like not allow the enemies to mock God through you. And then I keyed to that prayer point. I started praying. I said, God, they cannot use me to mock you. That you this immigration, I need I need my peer because they cannot use me to mock you because that's one thing I do not want at that point in my time. Because I didn't even tell anybody because if you tell people, they start talking about it. And that was how I started praying. Then I came to meet Pastor for a different situation, to talk to him about a different situation. And you were there also. Yes, to talk to me about a different situation. And you were there. And we're just talking about, maybe I will need to fast and everything. And you were saying, this one, there's no maybe or not. You will fast. You have to fast.
I didn't remember that.
He said, you have to fast. You have to fast for 3 days. You have to fast for 3 days. I said, I was just thinking
I
because
said that.
even Pastor was saying, let's reduce this now. You said, no, 3 days. I said, okay. Pastor was still trying to pity me, but I was like, okay, no, that I will do it. Even though I know, like, I'm not really eating because, like, obviously I don't have much. Because if I want to fast, I'll make sure I plan myself very well.
In what sense? I have enough food to break.
I have enough food to break. Before I start fasting, I'll make sure I will eat.
Oh, you eat a day before that time. You eat and so that you will not feel the fast. Oh my God. You don't joke with your food, and the woman is saying, no, you have to do 3 days.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I will do it because I don't have any other choice. And when I feel like for me, like when like somebody tells me you have to do this, I feel like for me, like I have to obey because obviously it's coming from God. It's not like even through jokes. I've told pastor before, like through his jokes, though I will be laughing. But as I'm going home, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how does this relate to my life spiritually? Because
Now people are saying why I don't want him joke with me. I say, don't joke, don't reverse it. It's not a joke, it's a prophecy, reverse it. Oh,
yeah,
that's
no,
I would
it's,
never have thought I said that. I've
oh,
forgotten that happened.
you said it. So like you said 3 days. Even if you had like this 3 days.
Oh God.
Then I was doing the fasting. I started the first day, the second day, the third day, and we're having this 100 days tongues challenge that we do from 11:59
2
to
1.
1 year. And but me, I already started my own prayers from 10. So I was even after the like during the 100 days tongues challenge, Pastor Nam made mention of the angel that left you has returned. I keyed to that word. I've never keyed to a word like that in after the one when pastor said
God has done
God
it.
has done it. I keyed to that word. I even felt it. Then that night I kept going. I didn't want to end it in the 100 days. I just kept going with other channels, other programs. I kept going. Even when the programs were done, I kept going personally till 4 a.m. That's the longest
You've
I've
ever prayed?
that's the longest I've ever prayed. But I knew like it has like it's not like it was
You
my
were
strength.
restless.
Like it was I knew like it wasn't me. Honestly, I knew it wasn't me. But I just kept on going. So I just passed. I did not even sleep on my bed. I passed out on my couch. I passed out on my couch. So 2 hours after I was sleeping, I just heard, I will bring you out of your situation. I said, huh? I heard it again the second time. I will bring you out of your situation. Ha. I didn't want to stand up because I was too tired. I didn't want to stand up to write because he always tell me like whatever you hear, write. So I didn't even want to stand up to write at that point. But when I was still closing my eyes, I was not sleeping. I was restless. Like I could not even go back to bed. So I just stood up. I quickly wrote it down. Then I was reading like I saw Gmail, but I did not even bother to open it. I was just reading my Bible again, like praying just for the day and all of that. I opened my gym, I saw immigration, I closed it. I was not ready.
You're not ready to
I
read.
was not ready. I was not ready to open it. I called my sister. My sister did not pick. I did not still open it. I was just waiting for her to call me back. She called me back and then she asked me what's going on. I said I received the Gmail from immigration. Oh, that's this one. I'm not reading it alone. Two of us
Read it
will read
together.
it together. Then she now started laughing. She now said, okay, I should open it. As I was opening it, I was just praying. As I was just pressing it, I was just praying. I was just praying. I just opened it. I just saw that they asked me to bring, I should send my passport, my picture, and all of that. The way I jumped, the way I was screaming, I was so happy. I was full of joy because, you know, that sometimes when you pray about something, right, it won't happen the ending of your fast. Sometimes maybe a week after you start seeing but my own happened like just in I'm short of words. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes like you don't even have things to say when the works of God are too like it's heavy, like it's
You're lost for
yeah.
words.
And
Yeah.
so I was really in a way about the whole situation. And then I just said, God, thank you. And then I came to church the next day because that was on the Thursday. Yes, I remember. Then Friday we're having night vigil. That's when I came to tell you to tell you
After
about it
VG.
after vigil that they've told me to send my passports, my picture, and all of that. Yeah, and after that, I was still a little bit worried because of how my application has been going, like the whole like up and down. I was still a little bit worried. I was just waiting for that congratulations. I'm like, I must see this congratulations. It cannot last 1 month though. I was just praying. I was just praying. I was just praying. I even fasted again, self. Like I said, I must see this congratulations. But in 2 weeks, they sent congratulations. Yeah, now a PR. Yesterday, I was so happy. I was full of joy because the the journey I went through was, and in between that journey, there was a friend of mine that asked me, like, that said, "Have you read the book of Job?" And I read the book of Job, and I'm like, My own did not reach this one, no. And my own did not reach this one. That I should actually be grateful. That I should be thanking God that I'm still healthy. Like I'm still okay. At least I'm still seeing like one or two places to get food from. There was only a time that I had not even eaten that you gave me food. I'm sure you not remember. That time you gave me jollof rice. Jollof rice was sweet, by the way.
I didn't know. Oh my God.
I had not eaten then. Like you just called me and you're like, "Oh, am I home?" I said, "Yes, I'm home." Oh, they told me to come and collect. I was so happy, but I did not tell you.
Oh.
I did not tell you. So, like when I started reading the book of Job, I was like, okay, like at least my own situation is not up to this, and I should still be grateful because even Job was even grateful. He was forever righteous, like he was a blameless man. So I should not like take it the other way. Like I should not just get too worried to and I'm start thinking and deciding on other things to do. So that was just what I was going through. And I know like, oh, God is going to definitely like rescue me. Like he has said it in his word already. So I was just using his word. Like I was just keen to his word as I was going day by day, like time. So that was how I got here with I would say with this journey, definitely my faith has gone like higher,
Increased.
increased than what it used to be. And for me, I just feel like this journey was like a lesson. Like it's not like some other people might have journeys that are sweet and all of that, but is I feel like for me, it was trying to mold me to become who he wants me to become, even though I still know like I'm still going through that journey. He's still molding me through the journey and all of that. So yeah, I think like that's pretty much like what has gone on.
Okay. I would have asked you more questions, but I think I will just say some few things and then we'll round up. As a young person, I don't want to use lady, it could be a guy. Your work with God, especially when you just come back to Him, when you just find yourself back to God, you don't expect it to be smooth, and that is one of the deceit of the devil to make us think that we running back to God is not worth it. Is worth it when you are already when you're already rotting, when the devil has eaten you up so deep and you don't know. You know how rats eat somebody up when you have maybe leftover in your hands, and the way the rat will eat you and still give you blow you. So when the rat is eating you and blowing you, you don't know the depth of the damage the rat has caused. That's what how the work of the devil is. The devil will eat you up and you will not see it because it's blowing you here. It's giving you what your flesh desire. You desire to go out, have fun, and you are getting that. But in God, you are restricted because you have to represent Christ. You have to be like Christ. So Christ, right? But when you are with God, God will shape you, remold you. He will, he will wipe you clean. And that process is like you going through a refinery, right? It's always through fire because you don't lose yourself. Flesh cannot help flesh. You've tried to help yourself, coming to realizing that I'm doing things that my mom had warned me about. You yourself, you are confused in your heart that I shouldn't be doing it because you've seen the hand of God in your life while growing, that there's something in you in Christ. You don't just know it, but you are sure that I'm going to be a weapon in the hands of God. You know, but because you are using flesh to fight flesh, you can't win. You need the Spirit of God to help you fight your flesh. And you can only get that in Christ. So whenever you find yourself back to God and you don't find everything as smooth as it was when you were in the world, know for sure that is God, devil telling you you are doing the wrong thing, whereas you're doing the right thing. Allow God, just give it up to God. You were at the end of yourself because all your hope were just going. You were saying, "Oh, I have this in place, I have that in place," and then God took you away. And I really want to apologize because sometimes, as somebody that have gone through church hurt too, knowing that a place of refuge where you can come and pour your heart is where you got attacked. Sometimes it's just so unfortunate because in God's plan too, anybody could be his tools to send us a message or to mold us, to refine us, to purify us. It's just that we don't expect it from such people. So even personally in my closet, I always tell God that please don't use me as a punishment for somebody else. You understand? So that you don't feel bad. But at the end of the day, when you realize that that's God still working through the people just to teach you, just to train you, it might not be easy. And because you have not gotten to where He's leading you, you will not find comfort there. And it's not because that place is bad. It's just that there's a place for everyone. And once you know that place, you grow. So as a young person, desire God. And we are not scaring you that because I don't want things to go back. But in God's agenda, there's no how you find yourself in a situation that is not suiting, you will still find peace. There's a peace that you cannot explain, that passeth all understanding. And that's why even people that knows that you're going through that will ask you, are you okay? How are you this happy in this storm? That is what God gives, peace. And the devil does not give you that.
Yes.
So my prayer is that if you have been working for God or you're struggling with your flesh, may you find the strength in the name of Jesus to run back to God. And I know you said God picked you. You didn't run to God. And many people, I don't think there are many. Most of the time we have to run back to Him. But because He has been speaking to you, you don't recognize His voice. Even when your mom was part of the voice, He had to make sure that He gets your attention, like He did Moses. The bush burdened, but was not consumed. So, and I know your story has not ended.
Yes.
It's still going, and hopefully we'll have you back on this channel. But I'm so
Definitely.
grateful for what God is doing in your life.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for what He has put in you come to manifestation. Even beyond what you feel, I want you to know that there's more in God for you. And once you can tap into it, don't hold on to yourself. Let yourself go so that you can embrace the fullness of God. You will see it that you don't allow your past or your mistake define you. Once you don't allow that and you just see what God is able to bring out of your life, you will grow and you'll be able to draw men back to God. You'll be a channel that young people will see and say, if God can save this lady, He can't save me. So, yeah, and I pray that that is your testimony. That will be your testimony in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were blessed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Share with someone that needs to hear this. Amen.
Amen.
Bye.
Bye.